pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda, Town of Marlborough Planning Board, December 15th, regular meeting at 7 p.m. On the agenda this evening, we have a public hearing for Sunrise on Hudson B&B at 6 Cherokee Drive in Milton. Under ongoing application review, we have Katrina Nissan for a sketch of their subdivision at 99 Beach Lane, Mitchell Emmett Company for a sketch of the subdivision at 1559 Route 9W in Marlborough, and Buttermilk Falls Resort for a follow-up on conditions for their site plan. Under special topics discussion, we have a brief ADU review discussion. Next deadline will be Friday, December 19th. The next scheduled meeting, Monday, January 5th, 2026. Is there anything from the board before we begin? No? All right. Legal notice, minor site plan and special use permit application. Please take notice of public hearing will be held at the Town of Marlborough Planning Board pursuant to the Town of Marlborough Town Code, Section 155.31 and Section 155.32 on Monday, December 15, 2025. For the following application, Sunrise on Hudson Bed and Breakfast at the Town Hall, 21 Mill Turnpike, Milton, New York, at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter as may be heard. The applicant is asking for site plan approval and special use permit for a bed and breakfast on land located at 6 Cherokee Drive, Milton, New York, 12547, Section 103.3, Block 2, Lot 62. Any interested parties, either for or against this proposal, will have an opportunity to be heard at this time. Chris Brand, Chairman, Town of Marlborough Planning Board. Sunrise on Hudson. Please just come on to the table. And how many mailings were sent out?
No, I'm not, I'm talking about.
She's not
Yeah,
the
I'm not the
applicant.
one.
Is the applicant for Sunrise on Hudson here?
I don't think they're here.
All right. If they're, yeah.
There are four more people coming in, who said they were gonna be here. We're up.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I missed what was.
We didn't come
They're not the
here.
applicant. Okay. So let's do this. If you are here, if you'd like to ask a question or have a statement, if you could just come up to the podium, state your name clearly for the stenographer, and you have an opportunity to be heard. Jen, you did that. Turn down as well. Okay, turn down.
Good evening, my name is Karen Williams. I have owned my home at 2 Cherokee Drive for 28 years. Kaylin and Francesco filed an erroneous document when they applied for a zoning change to establish 6 Cherokee Drive as Sunrise on Hudson Bed and Breakfast. Under Marlborough zoning code, it states, only an owner is permitted to register a bed and breakfast. An individual owner must be a permanent resident of the town of Marlborough and must occupy the residence to be used as the bed and breakfast full-time. Since purchasing 6 Cherokee Drive, Kaylin and Francesco utilize this home as a weekend and holiday home. Neither one commuted to their employment from Milton. The home is usually vacant during the weekdays. To be eligible to establish a bed and breakfast, Kaylin and Francesco would have to live in Milton full-time. At the present time, they could not claim they were in compliance with Marlborough zoning code. If after a year of living full-time in Milton, they would apply again, there are many questions regarding the property. 1, what part of 6 Cherokee Drive will be utilized as a bed and breakfast? And what part of the structure will be utilized as the main residence? 2, will breakfast be provided for all guests? Or will 6 Cherokee Drive be treated as an Airbnb where the guests are the only people occupying the home during the stays? 3, how many bedrooms are presently in the home? How many bedrooms are designated for guests? Do Kaylin and Francesco plan to allow guests to utilize the part of the home which is used as their permanent residence? Would Kaylin and Francesco plan on commuting 4 days a week and leaving the premises Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, enabling the whole house to be utilized as an Airbnb? What size septic tank does New York State require for a bed and breakfast? When was the last time the septic was pumped? And with potentially large numbers of people utilizing the home, are there any guidelines regarding extra pumping? There have been times during the weekends that a septic smell is prevalent from the property. Is this property compliant regarding wastewater, and are the leach fields sufficient to handle the increased amount of people using the plumbing? Will Kaylin and Francesco allow their paying guests to invite others on the property during daytime hours? What are the noise ordinances in Milton? Will guests be able to party all evening on the back deck? How will parking be handled? Cherokee Drive is a narrow street, especially in the winter. There are 6 homes on Cherokee Drive. 3 of these homes have been occupied by the same people for over 2 decades. Cherokee Drive has been a quiet, peaceful street since I have been a resident of Milton. There have never been any problems in our neighborhood. Over the years, a high level of trust and security has been attained by the residents of Cherokee Drive. My home is approximately 45 feet from the structure of 6 Cherokee Drive. In the past, when previous owners had family celebrations, I could hear music played in the house and conversations which took place outside from my bedroom window. I usually go to bed at 9 p.m., so I leave for work at 5:30 a.m., including Saturday mornings. My son works 2, sometimes 3 overnight shifts, including a Friday overnight, and appreciates the quiet of the neighborhood during the early and late morning hours. When one family lives in a home, it is expected to have festive gatherings. Usually there is a positive correlation between the decorum of the neighborhood and the visiting guests. I have no qualms regarding the guests of my neighbors. I have many doubts, worries, and fears having a stream of total strangers occupying the residence, which is approximately 22 feet from my property line. Regarding the bed and breakfast, anybody with a few $100s and access to the internet would be able to sleep 22 feet from my property line. There is no vetting of guests. I work very hard to live in a quiet, safe neighborhood. There is always the potential for guests to participate in illegal or illicit acts which would disturb my quality of life. A bed and breakfast doesn't ensure safety or quality of life issues. The only aspect which is ensured if a bed and breakfast comes to fruition at 6 Cherokee Drive is a steady flow of income to a couple who have never used this location as their primary residence. In regard to property value, do you think it would be difficult to sell a home next to a bed and breakfast to a family with young children? Imagine having a steady stream of strangers walking around the neighborhood. There is always the chance of nefarious actions from strangers. I do not want a hospitality entity operating at 6 Cherokee Drive. Having a hospitality entity next door will diminish my sense of security and safety, decrease my privacy, and reduce the peaceful and quiet quality of life I enjoy at my home. To reiterate, Kaylin and Francesco never had the right to file this application, for they never utilized 6 Cherokee Drive as their main residence. As a bordering neighbor to 6 Cherokee Drive, I would like to be notified regarding all matters relating to this application. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Should I state your name for the stenographer, please?
Good evening, my name is Ted Millar. I live on Mohawk Drive. My house is directly behind the property in question at 6 Cherokee. I do also concur with my neighbor about some questions regarding the owner's intentions concerning, for example, the potential for changes to the property that could impact adjacent properties. My neighbor did mention septic, which is an issue concerning that down in Mohawk Drive we have had at times. There have been some drainage issues, particularly after heavy rains or after rapid snowfall. I also would like to know how we can be certain our properties will be protected from additional runoff and other potential encroachments, such as any additions to the home or any expansions to the driveway. So, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Good evening. My name is Frank. I live at 5 Cherokee Drive, right across from the place. And basically, well, the other two just spoke, I'm speechless. But the main thing concerned, like he was concerned with his property, I knew the people that built the house. We grew up, me and my wife, in this area. And they did have a lot of trouble with drainage. And when it was built, there was only 3 people living in the house. I don't think that property is set up for a septic to run a bed and breakfast. Nobody knows anything about the leach fields, how long they are. Is it gonna handle a crowd of people? I don't think so. And the last time it was pumped, I can't remember. It was before the guy that owned the house, a friend, he passed away, he and his wife both. That's when it was pumped, and that was a while ago. So I don't know when it was pumped last, but my concern is the septic, the noise, and the quiet. It's been a quiet neighborhood. The whole area up there is quiet, and I don't think we should have a bed and breakfast in that residence. That's it.
Thank you.
Sir, could you just give me your last name?
Scuco, S-C-U-L-C-O. Thank you.
Anyone else care to speak?
Good evening, my name is Yvette Figueroa, and I live at 39 Seneca Lane. And I just want to have it on record that I share the concerns of the 3 individuals who have already spoken, particularly whether or not there was appropriate even filing of this application. And while the septic is not as big a concern for me, where I'm at, every other concern that has been expressed is a concern for us, in addition to parking being a potential problem. And not knowing whether, once this application is granted, what will happen. We know the house to be a 2-bedroom. Is it gonna remain a 2-bedroom? Will it, as was said before, who's gonna be there, and when, and how often, and who? So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Shaylee Ortiz. I live on 8 Seneca Lane. I have 2 small children. I have 3 of mine as well, one of my children, nieces and nephews that live right across the street. My neighbors have 2 very small grandchildren that come, I don't know, every day. It feels like. There are so many small kids right now on my corner of this cute, quiet little neighborhood that walk freely like it's 1970, just enjoying playing outside. I assume that a building like this, a bed and breakfast like this, is going to be attractive to perhaps people that are residing in the city. If they're coming here, perhaps they're less acquainted to the way in which that we drive in our small, quiet neighborhood where children are constantly playing outside. Some that aren't exactly the best at safety awareness. I really think that this is a bad idea for safety reasons for the kids in the community.
Thank you. Anyone else care to speak? Going once? Twice? No?
I move to close the public hearing.
There's a motion to close the public hearing, second?
Wait, excuse me.
Yes.
We don't even know if they sent out the mailings, they're
I
not
think they're here.
Could you come up to the front table? Yeah. So there's been a motion and a second. Any objection to closing the public hearing? No? Okay. So public hearing is closed. Pat, do you want to run through your comments quickly?
Yeah, we didn't have many comments outstanding, although we did hear some. added the parking required for that, but the information submitted to us shows 2 bedrooms on the first floor.
And they said that all 3 of those purported 3 would be used for the B&B.
So maybe the applicants can fill us in on the bedroom count and the use.
Can you verify that for us, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Turn the mic on, please.
Well, we'll be doing some renovation. This is a property we bought like about a year ago. It came with 2 bedrooms, and there was a family room that was converted into a 3rd bedroom. We have also a basement. We're planning for a 4-bedroom downstairs. So I heard the concerns about when they're gonna rent, right? They're not always there and stuff like that. So we are planning to rent the rooms only when we're there, and obviously we're gonna have a room for us.
Ready, Pat?
It does, I mean, the bed and breakfast ordinance states that you cannot add bedrooms in order to meet the requirements. So I'd be interested to know if they're adding 2 bedrooms to the site, if the health department has approved the expansion of the septic system. Septic systems are designed based on bedroom counts at 110 gallons per day per bedroom. So this would be, with the 4 bedrooms that were just mentioned, they would need a 440 gallon per day septic system. So I don't know if you've received approval from the health department to expand the septic systems?
We didn't, and also I don't know what the details are about the septic tank, so we will need to come back to you on that.
Okay. Did you want to continue your comment?
Yeah, that's all I have. I mean, I heard from I'm concerned that the tax record showed 2 bedrooms. The application submitted shows 2 bedrooms. The ordinance does not allow increase in bedrooms permitted. And I think those issues need to be resolved along with the septic system that we heard. The other issues are more from the board's purview for noise and intensity of use and such.
Comments and questions from the board?
Yeah, I'm curious, what do we need to, make sure that this is their primary residence?
I believe the statute says that it needs to be owner occupied. Does it specify that it needs to be the only residence?
No, we don't know.
Full-time residence.
So probably evidence as to that would be good. And then all of what Pat just said about the bedroom count, I think is appropriate too. I do see we have an upper and lower level and the basement that says basement. So it's not wholly clear to me which, maybe there are 2 bedrooms upstairs for renting. I would prefer to see more information. I think, it would be appropriate for the board to seek, supporting evidence to clarify these details and the concerns, especially as to the septic. I think that's necessary.
Yeah, we denied another application once before because, we didn't deny it, we made it clear that we needed, additional septic information and it was never provided. So this would be in keeping with our policy. I'm really curious about us being clear on like primary residence or owner occupied, because we have another B&B that is before us that we have similar, that is coming up before us, that has similar issues about residency. And so I would like to be clearer as a planning board member as to what that entails as far as our code is requesting.
I think that's appropriate, and I will write up something for the board next time we look at this application.
And what will be proof of that? I'm sorry,
Proof of the owner occupancy, or the permanence of the residence.
that.
Really low driver's license.
Yeah, mail.
Okay.
It's easy.
Is this your primary residence? Do you get mail there?
Yeah.
Yes?
I didn't hear your answer.
Yes.
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 Anything else we can provide, feel free to tell us.
Okay. Anything else for the board?
Yeah, the building department, should get involved, and Tommy should take a darn good look at this in regards to, now we're gonna put bedrooms in the basement and all that kind of stuff, so. Something's gotta get looked at, make it a lot more clear.
I'm assuming they have building permits. Do you have building permits?
So this is like still like in construction project, obviously. Let me say it differently. We are also open to reduce the number of bedrooms in case in the application, if this fourth bedroom is a problem, to reduce it from 3 to 2 bedrooms, because the 3 already existing on the site.
So, Pat, where did you come up with only 2 bedrooms? Because I'm seeing on the application it says 3.
It does say.
Yes,
They
it does say.
They gave us a layout plan that I'm looking at while the public was speaking, and the plan that they submitted to us shows 2 bedrooms on the first floor, and then the tax records, which we looked at, and I looked at while they were speaking, also parcel shows that it's 2 bedrooms.
It says 3 on the application, submitted with the intention of like building 1 in the basement. Now, if this is something, you know, it's a blocker, we need additional permits, it might go against also what we discussed before about the septic tank and stuff like that. The application can be amended to 2 bedrooms.
Any additional comments, questions for the board? So I think we're gonna need for you to provide some clarification for that.
Yeah, so just to redo that, I think the building department should weigh in on the bedroom count, and if there's been additions to the building, they should apply for a building permit and make sure that's up to code. The septic system, should be checked out, and if they added bedrooms, will need to be expanded, with health department approval. So those are the technical issues, and I think somehow addressing whether or not it's their residence or not.
Is this a walkout basement?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And is it finished downstairs in the basement?
Yeah.
Or is it unfinished?
it's finished, yeah, it's finished.
Okay, so we'll wait to hear back from you to clarify those issues for us.
So to recap, the number of rooms and where we plan to have the 4th bedroom, the septic, what else?
The building permits.
Building permits.
And proof of your occupancy.
And what that would be? Can you tell me?
I will provide some options. I'll send them to Jen and she'll communicate with you.
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda, we have Katrina Mason for a sketch of the